seems like we got us a A-B conversation that I'm going to go ahead and C my way into. A to B is Shafe to Sned, and then C, see me make a response video. There's also another C with Backwoods, I think, and kind of bringing a finer point to this, but what I like is I'm on Team Shafe because I like apples. Quick funny story about apples. I used to like to eat the entire apple, core and all, and my wife has actually discouraged me and banned me from eating the whole apple, given the whole arsenic thing. And I said, well, I thought that was just a wives' tale. And she's like, I'm not going to be accused of murdering you. So, we all like them apples. Voyeurism. As crazy as the news is, I think something happens, like if we put electrodes on a person's brain, and trust me, I've got a master's degree in bro science, and I'm working on my thesis for my PhD. You can call me Dr. Captain Edward Teach. So once I fully accomplish this PhD, I think if we were to hook little electrodes and measure the dopamine in a person's mind, the entertainment or how it moves their needle when they're watching a movie that they enjoy against when they're watching the news of subjects that they enjoy, I bet it's spiking a very similar place in the brain. If we could simplify the human brain, and you've got this goody feel. So you got a goody feel pocket, and then you've got the, oh my God, I'm not going to get the goody feel pocket, and both of which get filled if, for example, a person's watching CNN. And man, two, the thing I've noticed in regards to what's going on in American politics, stick a pin in the war in Ukraine for a moment. The Donald Trump indictments, if you watch the conservative media source, oh, everything's going to plan, everything's fine, nothing's going to mean anything. And then if you watch the other side, the progressive side, the left-wing side, it's like, oh, we finally got him where we want him. This is going to be the nail in his coffin. He's been indicted. He's been convicted. And it's bizarre. There's, like what we're saying, it's zero facts. But each side being a opinion editorial, they can go ahead and say whichever thing they want to say. They can shape it the way they do with certain key phrases that allow it to be open-ended and not committal. Like facts obviously are committed. You can't refute facts. And I think with facts, I'll give an example. There's man, I can't remember what the name of it is now, but I get their emails that I seldom bother to read, but they give a factual account of an event. They just give blah 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 was here and blah 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 happened, and then they give a left side spin to it and then a right side spin to it. They critique both sides. But my point that I'm trying for here is that when you're just looking at the factual basis, it's actually very short and very dry. It's not salacious. There's no titillating engagement like what Sned you're saying there with your voyeurism. And you want to talk titillating engagement, you have in the case of the Trump indictment, you have intrigue, you have espionage, you have a hero, you have a villain, and you have technology. I mean, it's everything that you need for a good narration. And when it comes to narration, the camp Donald Trump is good. I mean, from the get-go, they've framed, almost in a brainwashing form, each indictment we gain popularity. Each indictment is another badge of honor. And according to poll sources, 30% of the people go for that, and it's working. But it's not working enough, it seems, to win the overall popular vote, the overall popular thing. So it ends up just pragmatically wrecking the right-wing side, which some of the stuff that the right wing's come up with lately is, as a person who sees things politically as I do, golly, if I've got to pick the lesser of two evils, I don't know about the right wing side so much. Both sides are scary. Don't get me wrong. Regarding the war in Ukraine, it has it all too, right? You have a hero, is it President Zelensky? You have a villain, that's Vladimir Putin, KGB agent. You have the downtrodden people of Ukraine just trying to have democracy and join NATO and be a Western European nation, not an East, shaking off the shackles of communism and oppression. Do we all so soon forget that 10 years ago, Ukraine was a centerpiece of corruption? It was where the Russian oligarchs, and Ukraine had their own oligarchs, and it was where the Russian mafia had all of its financial shit going on. But now they're just a humble people looking for their chance. Meanwhile, there's a former CIA person that's become fairly popular lately. His name's Andrew Bustamante. Has his own YouTube channel now, and he posed the possibility that part of the reason for the Western support of Ukraine had to do with propping up our gross domestic product, because the war and industrial complex, it's part of the GDP. So if you have that propped up and you're spending billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, then it shades the fact that the current administration, the Biden administration, can confidently and honestly declare that there is not an economic recession occurring. However, Bustamante poses, economically in the United States, dollars going to the war in Ukraine are merely war debt and aren't actively into the economy. So it's almost like you're doing like a reverse toxic asset situation, like a negative quantitative easement is his proposal. This guy's something else. He really reminds me of the agent who did Confessions of an Economic Hitman, but might be worth y'all's time to look into. I think he's trying to scratch out a living being a social media influencer, which oddly he's close to me. Supposedly centered in St. Petersburg, Florida, but I'm not quite on his level. So there's my 2 cents. I don't know if it got us anywhere, but man, I'm thankful for all y'all. This is wonderful to have a discussion that like what Sned is saying, that it's interactive as opposed to when you're just watching the news or whichever. And I get it. I dig the juice from it. So hope y'all are doing well, and good topics, and catch y'all later.